Bonsoir, bonsoir. Vraiment content de vous retrouver dans cette émission Patrick Auguste Reçoit, mais ça va être plutôt le volet Patrick Auguste Hosting ce soir. On va aller pas mal en anglais ce soir. Donc, ça fait quelque temps que on n'était pas avec vous et il y a eu quelques aménagements avec la production également. Donc, l'horaire a changé. Maintenant, ce n'est plus à midi, hein, l'horaire auquel vous êtes habitué. Maintenant, c'est à 8 heures du soir, 20 heures du soir. 20 heures donc, de 20 heures à 21 heures le vendredi, que nous vous offrons maintenant en direct cette émission de Patrick Auguste Reçoit, Patrick Auguste is hosting. Et merci à BIA Media qui fait toujours la route avec nous. Et Patrick Auguste, vous savez, vous connaissez mon nom maintenant, qui suis à l'animation. Et nous avons toujours l'autre émission, Une Nouvelle Haïti, mais qui est maintenant dont l'horaire, c'est toujours le lundi, mais l'horaire aussi va changer et ça ne sera plus à midi, ça sera à 4 heures de l'après-midi. Donc voilà, nous espérons que ces nouvelles plages horaires vous conviennent. Alors, vous qui êtes fidèles, hein, je crois que vous allez poursuivre le chemin avec nous, avec ce nouvel horaire. Et voilà, donc c'est toujours la même dynamique. Hein. On clôture la semaine avec vous, avec Patrick Auguste Reçoit. Et puis, on ouvre la nouvelle semaine avec une nouvelle Haïti. Et nous avons aussi le volet radio sur www.ckcufm.com. Et donc, c'est communauté croisée le lundi entre 2 heures et 3 heures. Donc, tout ça à partir d'Ottawa-Gatineau. Et vous savez que maintenant, et bien entendu, avec la technologie actuelle, c'est qu'on n'a pas de frontières. Donc, certains de vous nous suivent des États-Unis, notamment, et de la Floride, hein, de New York. D'autres nous suivent de Montréal, de Toronto, certains d'Haïti, et puis on a même des auditeurs en Europe, mais bon, avec ce nouvel horaire, ça va être un peu difficile. Mais la beauté de la chose, c'est que les émissions restent sur les plateformes, donc si vous ne pouvez pas suivre le direct, vous pouvez toujours vous rattraper avec le différé, parce que vous pouvez retrouver ces émissions sur les plateformes, sur Facebook, sur YouTube. Faites une recherche BIA Media et vous allez retrouver les émissions. Et pour la radio, c'est la même chose, hein, www.ckcufm et communauté croisée du lundi reste sur le site internet de la radio. Voilà, aujourd'hui, l'émission, je vous disais, va être pas mal en anglais parce que nous avons notamment une de nos invitées qui est une Jamaïcaine, qui est de la Jamaïque, alors qui ne parle pas français du tout. Donc, c'est ça. Donc, on va... et puis, nous aurons donc deux invités. Nous aurons Chantal Auguste, elle-même en direct de Georgia, aux États-Unis. Donc, et on aura Melissa Bonick-Anderson, elle-même aussi de Georgia, qui vont être avec nous ce soir. Et il y a Kitli Excellent qui devait être là, de Toronto, mais elle a un problème ce soir, donc elle a dû s'excuser un peu dernière minute. Voilà, donc BIA Media, si nos invités sont en ligne, pas à les amener à l'écran, pour qu'on puisse poursuivre la conversation avec elle. Hi, we got Chantal Auguste. How are you, Chantal?
I'm doing fine. It's a
All right.
Georgia. We're doing good.
All right. And we're supposed to have Melissa Bonick-Anderson. I don't know if she's connected yet. Melissa, are you there? No, we don't hear Melissa. Okay, well, we hope that everything will be good for Melissa, and then she will be with us very soon. Bon, Chantal Auguste, while Melissa is not there, we can go a little bit in French. And bon, Chantal, donc, on venait parler aujourd'hui d'un nouveau mouvement. on va dire, d'un nouveau mouvement, qui est le mouvement de libération d'Haïti. L'acronyme, c'est MLA, M-L-H-A. Donc, Chantal, Auguste, c'est tout neuf. Alors, voilà, bon, ce qu'on peut dire, c'est que, bon, moi, je vais vous laisser expliquer à nos auditeurs, nos auditrices, nos téléspectateurs et téléspectatrices en quoi consiste le mouvement pendant que Mélissa, je crois, est en train de nous rejoindre. Allez-y, Chantal, et puis quand Mélissa viendra, on va traverser en anglais. Allez-y.
D'accord. MLA, Mouvement pour la libération d'Haïti, c'est un mouvement après ce qui s'était arrivé le 14 août en Haïti, le tremblement de terre, et avoir la famille qui a besoin tant de choses et de reconstruction et tout, étant en Georgia, et l'insécurité qu'il y a dans le pays, et l'idée est venue que quelque chose doit se faire. Pour rentrer en Haïti, c'est difficile et on a pensé à le mouvement pour la paix, des marches qui doivent se faire et pas une marche pas seulement nationale, internationale. Parce qu'il y a beaucoup de gens dans d'autres pays qui veulent rentrer en Haïti, qui ne peuvent pas. Et on a besoin d'une collectivité, d'autres organisations qui doivent se mettre ensemble avec nous et nos amis qui sont des étrangers qui peuvent venir avec nous. Et avec cette solidarité-là, on pense que ce mouvement-là va avoir quelque chose de différent, des mouvements et chacun, un jour fait un mouvement ici, un autre jour on a un mouvement avec beaucoup de gens, mais quand on a un mouvement qui se fait chaque semaine à la même heure et partout dans tous les États et dans beaucoup d'autres pays qui montre que le diaspora a quelque chose de solidarité ensemble qu'ils veulent, un message, un éveil qu'ils veulent faire passer dans le monde, qu'ils se mettent ensemble à marcher pour la paix, pour tout ce qui se passe en Haïti, pour se dire que ça doit terminer, ça doit terminer.
Très bien, très bien. Donc, il s'agit de se mobiliser, de marcher et chaque semaine pour chaque samedi, de façon à, en quelque sorte, et réveiller, on peut dire, la population à travers le monde, pour que vraiment on fasse quelque chose pour sortir Haïti de la situation terrible dans laquelle Haïti se trouve actuellement. Maybe we have Melissa with us. I saw her a few times. Bia Media, you can all right that Melissa is there now. Melissa Bonic Anderson. How are you, Melissa? Do you hear me? I cannot hear you. How are you, Melissa?
I can hear you very well. Are you hearing me, Patrick?
Yeah, now I hear you. How are you, Melissa?
I am good.
All right.
Hope you had a good week.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. It's nice to have you both on the show today, speaking about that movement of liberation of Haiti that started very recently, about awareness, about seeking more, I could say, involvement in Haiti, in situation of Haiti.
Yes.
That there is a trend for a few months now, which is very, very, very bad. We can say that now we're trying to do something. And Melissa, and you're from Jamaica.
I am.
And living in the United States, and you're so sensitive about what is happening in Haiti. We appreciate that. I'm from Haiti, and really appreciate what your involvement there. Okay, Chantal, I know that that movement it is that something new there. I think that the first time that happened like that, is it a gathering between Asian people from Haiti and their friends and people from other countries. It's like an international movement, not just Asian. Can you tell us about this? How that it is building that relation, that gathering between Asian and other people not from Haiti. Can you tell us about this? That's very new. Go ahead. If you there, Chantal. Hello. Okay. I don't know if we lost Chantal, but Melissa. Oh, Chantal is there. Okay. Yeah. Did you hear the question, Chantal? We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you.
Yes, this message,
Now it's good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it is new, and we have in the midst of us Melissa, who's from Jamaica, and we have Philip, who's from Martinique, and we have people that came from other organization that have people in Haitian and their friends in Dominican Republic that have joined us in our first march, and we hoping it will be, and you from Canada, and we have other organization in Canada also that have gone out on our first march for peace, and it was interesting to see in different area how we were able to have the same message, and we were there at the same time sharing our problems in Haiti, and we hoping that after that we will have New York and Boston, people from Chile and many other areas in Europe, that we could all have that same we were four countries together, but we can have other states and other countries joining us and sharing. People are not aware of what's going on in Haiti. A lot of people, it's not that much in the news. Even my pastor was telling me, I don't know that there's kidnapping going on in Haiti. So when they will see us every Saturday, when you go one time and you make a big event, yes, we are saying something, but it's at a routine time that they see that you are there and you're telling the message. And we will tell the message until we can get a result that things has to change. And also we're hoping that we can go to Haiti. It's to continue in Haiti to have our Independence Day, and in peace, and sharing to the Haitian population that we are, the diaspora is there with them, and we want a change in Haiti.
Oh, now I see that we're joining. There is a new face here, that Philippe Joachim. How are you, Philippe? Philippe Joachim from Martinique. How are you, Philippe?
Okay, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
I didn't expect you tonight, but it's good because I had some consolation that made it very good that you are here. And Chantal been very, thank you, Chantal. She was acting very quickly that you there, Philippe Joachim. Nice to have you on the show. And Melissa, can you tell us what really was the reason why you decided to join the movement, to be involved? You're from Jamaica, and tell us about your feeling about Haiti as a Jamaican. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. No, you cannot hear you.
Patrick, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay, I was muted for a bit there. But the fact is that I've always known about Haiti, never been to Haiti, but my dad has traveled extensively and loved Haiti, actually. He had only good things to say about Haiti. The culture, the people, the art, and even medicine. there, the practice of medicine, dentistry, and so on. So he had a lot to say about Haiti. As a Jamaican, we are close neighbors geographically. So I'm also well aware of Haiti from the history that we learn in schools, the news. So we're always up to date on what's going on in Haiti. And we had to study the history of Haiti and every island in the Caribbean as well as world history. And with that said, I believe Caribbean people have a very wide exposure, and we view everything not just in a vacuum but in the context of the entire world, historically, politically, and so on. I got to get a little closer, as it were, to Haiti because of my friendship with Chantal and other Haitians in the United States. And especially when the 2010 earthquake took place, which was extremely devastating. And as you know, Jamaica is also on the same fault line as Haiti. So we felt it there. It was felt there as well. But that earthquake was so tragic and devastating to Haiti, and everybody in the region were in sympathy. We were in shock as to the loss of life and the damage to the further damage to the economy, the unrest that it caused in Haiti. At the time, I was in the United States and with Chantal, and we wanted to go and help establish schools. Chantal did go, and she was with a medical group, so she was able to lend some assistance. Unfortunately, we did not get to go to establish the schools we wanted to because of the situation with social unrest and crime that followed. Now here we are, several years later, actually 14 years later, almost to the date. There's yet again another earthquake. I was actually in Jamaica when this earthquake took place on August 14. It was 7:30 in the morning, and we felt it in Jamaica as well. I was standing and everywhere was shaking and the floor was moving. So I can imagine the impact it had, because you guys in Haiti had a direct and more significant impact by the earthquake. And of course, we know the devastation that followed again. And what is troubling to me, and I'm at a loss as to understanding, is I understand the history. I understand the economic history. But what is sad is that in addition to the disenfranchisement of Haiti, economically, socially, that Haiti has suffered so many natural disasters, because right after the August 14 earthquake, you had a storm hit. We also had the same storm in Jamaica as well, but that is doubly devastating because of what happened just before. And I just can't. It is painful as a Jamaican, as a neighbor, as a fellow West Indian, a fellow Caribbean person. It is very, as a Black person, it is very painful to watch our own people suffer in this way, in the same region, in the same world, the same globe. And everybody just sits back and they watch this year after year, decade after decade, century after century. And it begs the question, what is really going on? Why is this happening? How can this be changed? How can we change it? Because surely, even on a humanitarian level, we can help. Everybody can help, even on just a humanitarian level. And so, that is what has
Yeah.
driven me to get involved with what
All right.
Chantal is doing.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wonderful, Melissa. Philippe Joachim, as I told you, you're live now from Martinique. And for people, maybe some people doesn't know that Martinique is a French department of French in the Caribbean. And the reason why I tell that is that maybe to put you in a particular situation, and I don't know what is your really the way you see Haiti, what Haiti meant to you, and then you decided to join this movement also. And why the reason? What was the real reason why you decided to really support the movement, participate actively?
Well, first of all, I had well, Chantal is my good friend for decades, we could say. And then when we first speak about I believe, what she had received from the highest, I considered that we need to share the hands and efforts. That's the first thing, because I hate injustice, especially when it is in the Caribbean, where what can I say? When I believe they should have like a Caribbean brotherhood, and Haiti belongs to the Caribbean. And another point which is very important for me, Haiti get independence, the first Caribbean island to be independent, and the first black, what can I say, island become independent. And it's the first island that has the strength to kick out the colonialism, dictated by the French fags. Let's put it this way. So I was, you know, Haiti, because of this, was the head, and it needs to remain the head and not become the tail. So, in my opinion, it is very important to help them out. So Haiti will be back to their position and will be like a guide for all the entire Caribbean. And like Fidel Castro, Che Guevara had tried to do in the Cuban Revolution. Well, of course, he was killed by the CIA when he had tried to extend the Cuban Revolution in Latin America. But I do believe that it is very important. I mean, whatever we can do, what what whatever talent we have, each others, we need to put it in the project, to put it there. So Haiti will have I hope will have, and I really believe that will be a new Haiti. But again, I keep on saying that, I mean, the best specialist of Haitian, uh, I mean Haitian affairs are Haitians themselves. In other words, what it means, it will be, we have to really be careful, because when people who has the what can I say, the spoiled blood in their veins, like the French and all these people, when they give you hands, they will from they give you the right hand, they will probably cut four fingers, and they will expect something 10 times what they're supposed to give you, if they give you something. So, in my opinion, we need to concentrate and to put lights on the country. And if you want Haiti to remain in the light, you don't shake hands with the devil. That's what I consider, which is all these colonialism countries. I belong to a group with Kemiseba. I mean, out Africa, same thing. I mean, France exists, because of the wealth they had stolen in the ground from African country, gold, diamonds, and things like that. You know, right now they owe. It's not an option, but they owe to the Haitian territory and the nation of Haiti the equivalent of 17 billion euros. And because it's a dishonest people, especially this guy, which is not I mean, he's a Satan right hand that is, I mean, at the head of France right now. I mean, he said no, 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 no. But it's it's written. I mean, if you deny their own history, there is no reason for me to look at your face. You know, to look at whoever you are. That's the way I believe. I'm a strong activist.
Yeah.
I'm against French 100%. I'm for independence of Martinique and Guadeloupe. And you know, unfortunately, we don't have Kalashnikov here, so we're gonna fight with what we have. So that's where we are.
Wow. Thank you, Philippe. And Chantal, there is, for me, I can understand what we just live in Haiti. What is the situation for, let's say, started in 2000, no, in 1986, when the Duvalier government collapsed and Baby Dog was put outside the country, and had a lot of joy. And people say, "Oh, finally we have democracy. We're gonna live well and happiness for everybody, freedom for everybody." And I think that we get in a situation where people confuse about democracy and anarchy, freedom. I think there is a mix of a different attitude there that not positive. We get to we get to tell this. You got to speak about that, because for me, Asian have to change the behavior also. We get to face that. And that first thing. Secondly, Chantal, I speak with you directly and now because I want to give you some time to talk also. But we get in the situation now, we see Melissa talk about the earthquake, talk about the storm, talk about all that. And at this time, 10 years ago, we heard about million, the government, we rely on the government of Haiti, government other countries, they look that they put together. What you said, nothing really happened. Now I can understand that. Now is the time for the people, and the people really to stand up and to make a difference, to do the job. That we're getting to this point now. Uh, are you agree with me that we're getting to that point, and this initiative, it is linked with that? Now is the time for the people to really deal with the situation. That how you see it or no? Go ahead.
One part that we would like to have motivational speaker when we do some rallies, and when we ready to go to Haiti, to have a change of perception and change of conscience of the Haitian. um, the people, the mass, whenever there's an election, any $100, whatever money they get, they elect someone. It's not them. It's not like I want someone. They just go with the flow, whoever get them. It's not that they know what they getting themselves in. And I think educating the mass and in what can be better for them. It's a very important thing. Um, we see our government getting involved in so many things, and things are not done. There's no infrastructure in whatever we're doing. Haiti for 200 something years have no electricity in most of the countryside, And even in the capital, the minimum of time that they have light, it's not a lot. They don't uh, telephone. They don't have access to internet most of the time when you communicate with them. There is a lot of things that we are in need in Haiti, and I think in order for something to change, in order is only the elite or the people that just put themselves, or the American that get themselves to put someone in place. We need to really kind of having access to, before we go to that January 1st and even afterwards, to communicate with the mass and educate them that we want a change and they need to get involved. Without them, there is no true change that can happen in Haiti. And I hope to see that coming, because in our time, we used to live and we have our doors open. We can go to someone's house and we trust that person. We used to travel. There's so many things that used to be done, even if we didn't have such certain comfort. But now there's a fear of living in Haiti. And only with that fear, the people are fleeing elsewhere. But we want to let them know that there is a way to change. There is a way for Haiti to change, because many things have been tried and it's not happening. And with education and bringing industries and so many, I've heard so many people talking about what they can do for Haiti. If we can cross that safety net to be safe over there, it has to be a solution for that. For now, the mass to get their voice truly, that we they need something different.
Uh, some people said that the voice of the people, really the people, what you call the mass, the voice of God. Yeah, we now it's time to hear the voice of the people, really. And let's say, Melissa, I know that. Can you talk about that? Because those marches, they started maybe 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, something like that. Can you tell us, give us an update how that is started? You're in mute, Melissa.
How the march started?
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I know that. I think that there's 2 Saturday or 1 Saturday or 2 Saturday already passed when since you started the movement.
Mhm.
I think they started in Georgia. It started in Montreal,
Yes.
and we have in Santo Domingo. How do you feel about
Yes.
the starting? We're still in the starting process.
We are still in the starting process, and I'm kind of want to segue kind of off what you said with regard to the voice of the people being the voice of God. Um, a lot of people have been looking on to at Haiti's dilemma for decades, and I think a typical thread or emotion that's common to everyone looking on, friends of Haiti, is that Haitians need to demand justice. They need to demand more. They need to realize that the people have the power. And as it relates to the marches in the diaspora and among friends of Haiti, I I believe that what we need is more involvement from the Haitian diaspora. We need more involvement. I am feeling a kind of apathy from some people. I don't know, obviously, everybody in the Haitian diaspora. I can only talk about maybe what I've heard from the sentiments echoed of some people in the diaspora, and it's nothing different from other Caribbean islanders. It's that once people leave a situation they feel is oppressive or that is oppressive, and they go to greener pastures, they do one of two things. They throw stones behind them, as we call it in Jamaica, and don't look back, or they look back and reach back to try and help others behind them. And this is what Haiti is faced with. Some people will send back remittances of cash, will help families or friends there, but that's the extent. They don't want to be involved in the fight because I suppose they just want to put the struggle behind them. But we have to find a way to get Haitians, the Haitian diaspora, involved from one extent to the other. Everybody's involvement may not be the same, but if we can get them involved somehow, to some degree, to assist, to give that voice that is needed, and for Haitians there to also get to the point where they realize that, hey, people want to come and help. But if people come to help, you have to partner with the humanitarian efforts. You have to make the demand that enough is enough to corrupt government, to local crime, to local criminals. You have to say to people in your villages, in your cities, in your towns, that we want better. So we're not going to cover up when you're doing wrong things, when you're committing crimes. I mean, the same thing goes for Jamaica. Jamaica has implemented certain programs by the police constabulary force, where they encourage citizens of villages and towns and cities to speak up and to talk about what's happening, talk about who is committing the crime, and so on, so that they can go in and find these people and start to eradicate. And I know things are probably a bit different there. You know, I recognize that we may not have exactly the same situation, obviously. But the point is that if there is going to be a change, nobody outside of Haitians can make the change for them if they don't stand up here, overseas, internationally, and in Haiti and say with a loud voice, consistently, enough is enough.
And some people may think that march, walking, it not something can really make a difference. But I think that walking in front of the world, in front of the media, in front of the special places, that mean anyway, people has to see what you're doing.
Yes.
People has to, oh, wow, what happened there? And you're gonna have a kind of energy going there in Haiti, because I'm in a point that I think the solution Haiti will not come from Haiti. It will not come from Haiti because situation is like, so I don't know, this kind of confusion there. Coalition have to come from outside. And we're telling, I agree with you that involvement of the diaspora, but with the Asian friends like you, like Philippe, that's very important. And I got to stress that there's some people now ready from Bahamas in the group, people from different community in the group. The group is growing, and the committee is growing. And you see that I'm positive about what will happen next. And before we go back to Philippe, I will ask my producer, BIA Media, can you display for us that poetry, that Asian She lives in Canada, in la cité collégiale. I think her name is Ketia Moise. Beia Media, could you display that little girls telling a poem about Haiti is in French, I think. If you can do that, we will really appreciate that.
Liberté, mon droit. Mes yeux voient la liberté, mais c'est dans les livres. Ma bouche crie la liberté, mais elle ne répond pas. Mes pieds marchent vers la liberté, mais elle est introuvable. Liberté, où es-tu? Liberté, montre-toi. Peut-être qu'on l'a kidnappée. Liberté s'est fait kidnapper. Comment est-il possible qu'on est en 2021 et que j'ai pas le droit à la sécurité? C'est inacceptable que mon espérance de vie soit de 24 heures. Dans un pays où les paysages me donnent de l'espoir à mon réveil. Un réveil qui me donne l'envie de vivre. Un réveil qui me sensibilise à mettre en valeur ma culture. Un réveil qui illumine ma journée. Une journée où je peux profiter de jouir de mon beau pays. Un pays qui n'a pas eu la chance de mettre en valeur ses valeurs. Un pays qui peut mettre en valeur ses sites touristiques. Un pays qui peut exploiter la vache qui est un endroit paradisiaque. Un pays qui peut exploiter Gelée, qui est l'une des plages la plus larges de la Caraïbe. Un pays qui peut exploiter ses rivières pour électrifier ses villes. Un pays qui peut exploiter le bassin bleu, qui est un endroit tellement beau à investir. Un pays qui peut investir en ses jeunes pour les mettre à son service. Un pays qui peut investir dans la citadelle La Ferrière, qui est la plus grande forteresse de l'Amérique. Sans oublier le palais sans souci, le palais aux 365 portes, merveille architecturale de la Caraïbe, malheureusement en ruine. Libère-moi de tes décombres pour que je puisse propulser notre histoire. L'histoire de ce premier peuple noir qui a conquis son indépendance par les armes. Un peuple qui a fait de son pays le berceau de la liberté, malheureusement qui en paie les frais. Un peuple fort qui a pu même résister et vaincre Covid-19 à la surprise de plus d'un. L'histoire de mon peuple courageux qui souffre quotidiennement dans son beau pays, mais résilient aux assauts de la vie. Mon peuple qui veut arrêter de souffrir. Mon peuple qui veut être libre. Mon peuple qui veut avoir accès à la sécurité. La sécurité qui est un droit, mais pas une faveur. Mon peuple qui a le droit de circuler dans son pays quand il le veut et où il le veut, même au village de Dieu. Mon peuple a droit à la sécurité, alors que personne n'est en sécurité. Quand pourrais-je rêver en couleur? Quand mes compatriotes qui se trouvent hors du pays auront l'assurance de venir vivre à nouveau dans leur pays? Quand aura-t-on la chance de mettre en valeur nos valeurs? Liberté, j'ai pas une somme d'argent pour payer ta libération. Liberté, je suis affaibli par ta disparition. Tout ce qu'il me reste, ce sont mes cris. Tout ce qu'il me reste, ce sont mes larmes. Tout ce qu'il me reste, ce sont mes pleurs. Liberté, je ne peux plus supporter. Liberté, tu me manques. Liberté, reviens vite s'il te plaît. Liberté, mon souhait pour toi, c'est d'être libre. Libre, délivré des mains de ces criminels qui te torturent. Liberté, sois libre. Liberté, sois fort. Liberté, mon droit.
Wow, 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 wow. That was Ketia Moise. She lives actually in Harwa. And Chantal told me about her. And then I got to contact her, but she got to be involved in our movement. We're not sure. She's going to be with us very soon. Okay, 15 minutes now from the end of the show. What I would like, we're gonna wanna hear from Philippe, but we're gonna have a time. I want Chantal to really give the contact, and other people want to be involved. People watching us now didn't know about the movement, and Chantal, we're gonna tell us about the next step. We're talking about tomorrow. We're gonna do day after tomorrow. We're gonna give us some detail. Just maybe for Philippe Joachim, uh, that there was a reason why I wanted to be able to display that clips before. I'm going back to you because in Martinique, Guadeloupe, you have infrastructure. We have, let's say, it look like developed country, but there is a problem of freedom there. There is a problem. You're not independent, and I just want to give you some time if you can make a kind of link about your involvement for Haiti, maybe the lack of freedom in your country, and what you can tell about that. Philippe, we don't hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
First of all, I consider that a country, a nation that is suffering is not like a bear that is dancing, which means that it is very important to give them a hand. And I consider as a Haitian, by blood as my own brothers because we are in the Caribbean. And yes, we are French department to, well, something I really disapproved. And for me, it's just a rob because Caribbean, for me, we are American because we belong to Central America. So, it's a rob. The geography is against the French government. Let's put it one way. So anyway, the reason I wanted to join this movement too is that in Martinique, it's a no ends meet because the French government has a tendency to put some type of little piece of salt and pepper so people can shut their mouths and eat whatever welfare, whatever nonsense, and then they don't go to fight and kick them out. Now, Haitian is a of course they had problems before with maybe devaluer or whatever it is, but anyway, it's a nation that belongs to the Haitian, which is a free country, which is a country that is on flag, that has an own army, that is own government. So I believe there is a what can I say? There is a future in Haiti. Doesn't matter. I mean, okay, now it's very complicated, very difficult for we whatever, but there is a good hope. That's what I believe, and I I think there is a good hope because I mean it's a free territory, not like us. I mean we have infrastructures, we have everything, but it's all fake, because it's money coming from where? From Europe, from France, from I mean, what are we producing? Nothing. Rum, bananas. I mean, come on. We don't produce anything. I mean, it's we import like over 80% of our goods. I mean, where are we going? A Macy's there, which is one of our highest, poets and political men. He said, well, he believed, but he was wrong, that if the French Overseas Department will become department, and he had voted in 1946 a law in France for Department of Martinique and Guadeloupe, and for all this territory, French Overseas Department to become not anymore colonies but French Overseas Department. But he didn't know that in the brain of the French you have dishonesty, you have rob, you have all those type of issues. So what happened is that all the industries we had, like sugarcane industry, sugar and everything, we had about over 200 factories here. Now we have what? Supermarket, hypermarket, big stores, and then we import like what? Cements, things like this. So it's like, so it's like it has changed. We don't produce anything. We import the trash from the French. That's what we are. That's where we are right now.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
in
I
Haiti, they
understand.
have factories. They have factories in Haiti.
Yeah.
They have you have land. There is well. My concern is what Haiti. I mean, the country of Haiti needs. They need to hear something else, something different, and they need to believe it. That our job one day will be to convince them. Yeah, to
Mhm.
tell them, okay, we're coming with a new deal. Let's put it this way, and then being able to justify and demonstrate, yes, you'll be able to get bread, and for you to get bread you will have work and you'll be able to live with decently with your job. That's what
Mhm.
we need to hear.
All right, all right. Thank you, Philippe. Chantal, now it's your turn. Now I want you to give the most information you can give to people now, how they can join. What is the next step? I know that there's an email that people can write to the committee, the WhatsApp number. BI Media, if you can display also those information I sent to you before the show while Chantal is speaking about the next step. I know there's something for Saturday tomorrow. Okay, go ahead, Chantal.
We are going out tomorrow in our respective state and country with our banners and with all words possible to show what's going on in Haiti. It's again a voiceless march where we'll be having even the people that been kidnapped. We put their name on our banners, asking to let them set them free. Enough. We want peace. We want the murder to stop. We are voicing our concern through this process. And it speak loud because Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere, you know, it's a threat of justice everywhere. So we all are part of this, and we're feeling the injustice, and we want something to of the government and in the elite or even the people that don't not educated to know what to do. And we in the diaspora, we have so much we can do by standing. I'm calling to all the organization. We will be sending letters to invite them. And I hope they consider this process of standing together in a different way everywhere in order to voice our concern and sit together and talk about what we can do in the diaspora, because our parents have sent us here. We have learned, we have seen what other countries are they developed, so we can get together and really see the best that we can do while we marching every week at the same time everywhere. And then we will have Zoom communication and what we can do, how we can manage to get the gangs to stop this. There is a solution and we will find it. And but we want the solidarity, because I think this movement is a spiritual movement. It's been led to something bigger that we will get together, because God said when we gather, He bless a country, He bless people that are gathering together. And I see blessing coming as we join and make the awareness everywhere that to anyone to that we mean business. We are together and we're going to make a change for what's going on in Haiti. So every week, every Saturday at 4 o'clock, we will be out wherever we are in our respective city, and we'll make video and share, and people will see us around. And you have displayed this website. We're going to have a website. We're working on it, but right now we have our email, www, it's mla community@gmail.com. And our WhatsApp, I'm on WhatsApp 617-669-6824. And we're waiting for everyone to join in this march because the people in Haiti need us to, to really voice their concern and want peace.
All right, Chantal. Now, Melissa Monique Anderson, your last word for the show.
Well, I'd like to encourage everyone in the Haitian diaspora, the Caribbean diaspora, internationally, wherever you are. If you can't march, what you can do is get on Facebook, look for what we call MLA, MLHA. That's our group on Facebook right now, MLHA. It's a public group. Go ahead, join our group, share it with everyone you know, because the aim of the movement is to make everyone everywhere across the globe aware of what's going on in Haiti, pull everybody together so we can help make a difference.
Thank you, Melissa. Now, Philippe, what's your conclusion of that conversation? You're in mute. It looked like you're in mute, Philippe. Go ahead. You see? Go ahead.
Yeah, I am.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very happy for this. For this meeting, for this interview, you could say, and I have I wish for the movement, for the country of Haiti, the holy prosperity and holy hope, and then and for Haiti to become again what it was, which is a pearl of the entire Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
That's their position, and for Haiti to remain and be the head and never again be the tail anyhow. So to be the leadership, so people that we will follow. They were first to be free. So we need to follow, and for the entire Caribbean to be free out also. And success in every point. That's
Thank you, Philippe. A few words, Chantal, before we wrap up. You're in mute, Chantal. We cannot hear you. No, doesn't work.
There we go.
Yeah.
We've been trying to do this show for so many times, and I'm glad we were able to share that we're waiting for everyone. Share the words. It's every Saturday at 4 o'clock. Wherever you are, join this movement and let everyone knows that Haitian, we and friends of Haitian are concerned about what's going on in Haiti. My pastor said, I don't hear there's kidnapping in Haiti. Yes, there is a lot of things. And we are here. We will be sharing everywhere that there are problems, and we in the diaspora, we are working and walking at peace to solve the problem.
Thank you very much, Chantal Auguste. Thank you very much, Philippe Joachim. Thank you very much, Melissa Monique Anderson. I'm Patrick Auguste, and thank you all of us that were watching us live. And we're going to be together again on Monday and Friday. Don't forget, Monday 4 p.m., Friday 8 p.m. Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend.